it's me, Mamita Barbita. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome, and if you are already a babyita, how you doing? If you read the title of today's video, then you already know that this is going to be a soft-spoken ASMR chit-chat story time on how to keep toxic people in your life. Yes, you're not going crazy, I did say that, but hear me out. Don't come for me just yet. Let me explain, and then you can come for me, okay? In order for me to really explain where I'm trying to come from, I'm gonna give you guys a story time on one of the worst bosses I ever had, and it's gonna completely correlate with what I'm trying to say in this video. So, I was 20 years old at the time. This was still relatively like one of my, not first jobs, but it was like one of the jobs I had at that age. I hadn't had that many jobs. It wasn't my first job, but it wasn't like my 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. I think it was like my 3rd job at that point, being that young. And my mom had moved down to South Florida. I went to South Florida with her naturally because I was still so young. And I got this job at a restaurant as a server. Well, from the get-go, the manager who, I guess, I mean, she was a manager, but she was like the general manager, so she was like the head honcho. Immediately, she just didn't like me. She just completely rubbed me the wrong way, didn't like me, don't know why. And sometimes there are people in your life like that. Like, you have blue eyes and for some reason they just hate you. Like, they're just like, I don't like you. Don't know why. So from the get-go, like I said, she just did not like me. I remember in my job interview at that time, I had platinum blonde hair, and just from the get-go, she was like, well, I guess you can keep your hair color. And I'm like, okay, it's not like I have pink or purple or blue or green or yellow hair. Like, I'm not wearing crazy color in my hair. Like, why are you? But I was like, I need this job, whatever. So I'm just like, okay. So she hires me, and I could just tell she didn't like me. Like, no matter what I did, she was always so annoyed with me, and I don't really think she was that annoyed with the other employees as much as she was with me. Like, I could tell she was just not feeling it with me. So, whatever. Things really started to escalate as time went on, though, because she started to get a lot more comfortable with me, so she started really saying inappropriate things. I remember, for instance, this is one of the biggest things I remember. I came to work one day and I had like my everyday makeup look on, which is pretty much what I have on now. And no, it does not take me that long to get ready. I know some people who don't do makeup are probably like, your makeup takes forever. It really doesn't. And I don't really wear as much makeup, I think, as people think I do. That's like a whole nother, like, I'll do a tutorial on my makeup so you understand what I'm saying. But I don't really wear as much makeup, I think, as people think I do. Regardless, it doesn't matter if I was wearing a lot of stuff on my face and it did take forever. It's none of your business. So she's like, I have a question. And I was like, okay. And she says to me, how long does it take you to do your makeup every day? Because I could never do that. That's way too much. I don't care that much. Like, I just don't understand why anybody would be doing that much. And I was like, this lady, okay. So me being the person I am, I was just like, okay, I mean, you're entitled to feel how you want. She did not like that response. She did not like that I was not feeding into what she was saying. There was another instance where we were really busy and the dishwashers were washing everything, so we didn't have any, I think it was silverware at that time. Like, that's how busy we were. Like, they were literally working on washing the silverware, so we didn't have any. There's physically like no clean silverware. I told this table that, I was like, I'm so sorry, it's gonna be a minute, we're washing all the silverware. This table was not happy with what I had to say. They called the manager over. They told the manager that I didn't make it a priority to get them silverware. What do you want me to do? They're cleaning it. So her being her, she's just like, I don't know why you would ever say that to a table. Clearly you don't care. Clearly, you know, you just, whatever, like you're just very careless, like you don't want to make people happy. And I'm like, what do you want me to give them to-go silverware? Like, the table's being ridiculous right now. Once again, I said whatever, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? So I did end up quitting that job, but karma is real, because she ended up leaving because corporate ended up finding out about her behavior, not just for me, but I guess she was also treating other employees bad. And I'm not trying to play the victim, but I never witnessed it like around me. I always was kind of like, I feel like targeted more than like anybody else in the restaurant. So I guess it was happening to other people, because she ended up getting a corporate complaint. And then I found out through the grapevine that she ended up quitting the job because I think they were going to fire her. And so she was like, before they fire me, like, let me just leave. But to segue back now to what I'm talking about with keeping toxic people in your life, to give you a little backstory. At that time when I had that job, yes, I moved down to South Florida with my mother, but things ended up transpiring and I was basically homeless. And if it wasn't for my now fiance, we've been together almost 7 years now, I would have had to stay either in my car or at a shelter, because I had no place to go in South Florida. I didn't know anybody. I didn't have any friends down there. Literally, my boyfriend was the only person I knew in South Florida. So I ended up moving in with him, and that was already really stressful for me, because I had never lived with a significant other before. And till this day, he's the only like significant other I've ever lived with. I've never had a roommate. I've never, like, that's it, like, he's it. Which is kind of wild if you think about it, but yeah. And when I lived with him, I lived really far away from the restaurant. So I was trying to apply for jobs in the areas called Loxahatchee in South Florida. I was trying to apply for jobs over in Loxahatchee because I was like, okay, let me get a job closer, because at the time I was driving all the way to Boca, and that was like an hour and a half sometimes, like drive. That was already really stressful. So I'm applying at all these different places over there, and nobody hired me. I will never forget, I applied for probably over, I'm not even kidding, I'm not even exaggerating, like 20 jobs. And I remember being so stressed out, I couldn't even eat. I think at that time I was like 120 pounds. I was so stressed out, I could not eat. I felt like I was constantly about to have a panic attack. It was just a really horrible time. And the insurmountable stress I felt, like I said, it felt like something heavy was on my chest all the time. Because I'm working this job I really don't like. I'm applying at other places. I can't. I don't know if it was God or my sister, who is now an angel. I don't know who, but I remember just at my breaking point being like, unfortunately, right now you're gonna have to work this job, because you don't have the luxury of finding somewhere else to go. You don't have the luxury of having another boss. So you're just gonna have to learn how to deal with her until you can get past this hurdle and move on. So, like I said, I don't know if it was God. I don't know if it was like my sister, because now she's like an angel to me. But it's like I started to have this like intuition of, okay, you know she's toxic. You know she's not a nice person. You know she's gonna make snarky comments. You know the kind of person she is. Unfortunately, she's a very toxic person, and in a certain capacity, she's in your life, right? Like, she's not a friend or a family member, but she is your boss. So she is in your life, and you have to deal with her, and you do work a lot. So unfortunately, you do have to be around her a decent amount of times. So I was like, okay, here's the deal. Like I said, you know the kind of person she is. You have to just be the bigger person, stay aware of what she is, and not let it affect you. And it sounds easier said than done. And I told myself, it's not gonna happen in one day, but you have to just keep reminding yourself that, and then eventually it's just gonna slide off of you, and that's it. And that's really what I started doing. I would ask her something, she would roll her eyes, she would scoff, she would get mad, whatever, and I would just be like, I mean, it is what it is. Like, I need help right now. So if that bothers you, then I don't know. I mean, I know I'm a good person, I'm a nice person, I'm trying to give good customer service. It is what it is. And when I started having that attitude around her, I almost noticed a shift in her where I don't know how to explain it. It's like I could tell she knew she didn't really have the same control over me like she did before, because I would just look at her every time and just shrug my shoulders like, I need this, so I don't know what to say to you. And I started to say that. I started to literally vocalize this to this woman who I was like, so I just avoided at all costs, did not want to be around. And as soon as she realized, I'm not going anywhere, you're not going anywhere, we're on this ship together, we have to deal with each other, you're gonna try to make me miserable, I'm at this point not going to allow it anymore. It was like a total dynamic change. So if you have someone toxic in your life, like I did at that point, and I did not have the luxury of getting away from her, I had to work with her. You have to separate yourself from the situation, do like a third party view, if you will, and just realize, you know what this person's capable of, you know what they're gonna do, you know that they're going to do it. Don't let it affect you. Easier said than done, but take baby steps towards that goal of just saying, you know what, I'm not gonna let this affect me, because if I do, it's just gonna hurt my feelings, and really it's not valuable. It's not gonna get me anywhere. And unfortunately, the truth of the matter is, there is gonna be so many toxic people you come across that you just cannot get them out of your life, because you're just not gonna have that luxury. You're not gonna have that luxury of being like, okay, bye, like, I don't need to be around this. And of course there are times that you will, but I can tell you from personal experience, majority, this is the God's honest truth. Majority of the toxic people I have had and have still in my life to this day, I do not have the luxury of just cutting them off. And it's complicated, and it's this, and it's that, and it's not excuses, and please, in your life, do what you need to do. But just know that this is how I keep those toxic people in my life. I acknowledge what they are, I say okay, and I don't let it affect me, because I knew it was coming. And with that, it's like I created a shield where it just doesn't affect me anymore. It's so wild to me how just the other day I went through a very toxic encounter, and doing exactly what I'm telling you that I do, I was like kind of mind blown how well it actually worked. Like, I forgot how well it worked, because I don't really obviously try to surround myself with toxic people, but when I have to, you know, it's a little bit of a culture shock because I don't stay around that. But when I did what I'm saying to you guys that I was like, I took a step back and I'm like, wow, that really did work really well, because nothing that this person was saying or doing to me was having any effect on me. It was just like, you know, that I know that's how you are. I know that's how you react. That's how you act. That's what you find appropriate. And I just can't let it affect me. And That's it. And I gotta tell you, it's Monday. I feel good. I had an extremely productive day. I'm gonna have an extremely productive week. I'm gonna make this cheddar. You're gonna make that cheddar. And we're gonna be happy. And we're just gonna know that sometimes there's toxic people you just gotta keep in your life. Tell them, you know what? We're on this boat together. We're both trying to not make this boat sink. We're just gonna have to deal with each other for the time being. It is what it is. And it's really that simple. And I wish I could tell you, like I said, that, you know, you're not gonna have these toxic people in your life that unfortunately you're gonna have to keep in your life, but that is just not the case. At least for me, it's not. I can't speak for everybody. I'm just telling you guys what I've gone through, my experiences, yada, 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 yada. So I hope that this video was helpful. I hope you understand where I'm coming from. I apologize if you don't. I'm sorry if you did not find this advice helpful, if it offended you, if you did not find it appropriate. But I just wanted to make a video on this because it is a topic that I feel like it's not discussed enough. It really isn't. We always talk about getting rid of toxic people in our life, but we don't ever talk about toxic people that unfortunately we have to keep in our lives. And I get it, like, you know, obviously you don't want toxic people in your life. I get it. But we have to learn that sometimes we have to keep them in there. We have to be emotionally, mentally strong enough to realize they're gonna stay in my life. It is what it is, but let me not have them affect me while they're in my life, because I can't get rid of them. And I'm telling you, it's a huge game changer. It's a huge perspective changer, and that's it. I love you guys so much. Please like this video. Please subscribe. If you like these soft speaking, soft talking ASMR chit chats, let me know down in the comments below. I love making these. I love to talk. I'm sorry if you keep seeing me swatting. There's a fly in here. It's driving me nuts. Really quick, I want to thank each and every one of you who has commented on the videos, who's liked the videos. I really appreciate the one subscriber. Oh my gosh, I can't remember your name right now. I think it's 𝐬𝐭. You always comment on my videos. You always give me great advice. I really appreciate you coming to me with the idea of doing movie commentary. I would love to do that. I think that's such a great idea. So I really want to thank you for that. I love, love, love your comments. I love everyone's comments, but I just wanted to reach out to you because I really appreciate it. It means a lot. So I hope you guys have a great Monday. If you have those toxic people that you have to keep in your life, hopefully this advice works for you. If it doesn't, no hard feelings. Please know, if nobody has told you this today, I love you. You are special. You are important. And most importantly, you make me proud. I love you guys. Bye.